Hello, and welcome to part of this residential course of converting existing drawings into a Revit file so you can plan your new additions accordingly. Okay, so now today I'm going to do the garage and kitchen roofs with the garage door so we can do the deck on top of the garage. So I'll be creating this sloped roof here with these mini rafters, and then the garage roof with its rafters, and then I did look through this. The only timber deck support beams and design as per Acre duck upper or similar support beams to be inside parapet walls with bottom decking to line up with top of parapet walls. So that is leveled there. So we can go and I'm not sure the size of the beam as there's no size given. So I am going to check our garage span, which is 3 meters, and I am going to align that with our joist spacing over here, and I'm going to just try and space it on 600, so we need 3 meter span, so we are kind of looking in the area of 255 by 84, which will be sufficient for our 3 meter span. Okay, so I am going to start off with the garage roof first. So we know the underside of our beam is 2925, and I'm going to draw in a new section through here so we know what to work with. So we will now be working on this area. So the underside of this beam 2925, that is higher than this. So our garage floor level, as you can see, is also lower than our internal floor area. If we can check that number 100,510, and I'm going to go to this section. I don't see, we only see a FFL. Let's check this floor plan. Okay, so everything here is on one floor. There's no line indicating a change in height, but we have steps in our garage. So that means our foundation on this section will need to be adjusted and placed lower. So if we look at our section, this and this is lower, so we will need to sort that out in a moment. So I'm going to hide all of these except my finish floor level, and I'm just going to delete these two so we can get the appropriate amount. So we know this difference from finished floor level to gross floor level is 510. Where do I get that, you ask? Because here is 100,000 and there is 1,005. We can also calculate it via these three risers. So it's 1, 2, 3. So to do it via the risers, we can use our calculator and go 170 times 3 is 510. So I'm just going to use this, copy it. I do not want to create a new view. 510. There we go. And we can name this garage FFL. So I'm just going to neaten this up. And I'm going to make this fine and change this to, let's say, 1:50. So we kind of know what to work with. So from this level, I'm going to copy this, 750, and I'm going to lock this onto that level. And I'm going to rename this to garage foundation. And since that is lower, we need to double check our other lines. So this wall will have a stepped foundation, and this wall will also have a stepped foundation. So I'm going to just delete those ones as well, and I'm going to go SL, and I am just going to cut this wall. Okay, not the top one, need to cut the bottom one. There we go. So this I'm going to set to garage foundation so it moves down. We'll fix this in a moment. You can try trim and extend just to connect it like so. And I am going to move this wall like so. I moved it, let's just put it back. And there we have our garage foundation almost sorted. And now I just have to do the same for this one. Let's go SL. I'm just going to cut it there. Choose the one in front. Put its base constraint on garage foundation. Use trim and extend for those ones. And I'm going to align that with that so that that moves. But we don't want it to look as nasty as it's currently looking. So I'm going to move that out, align, and just place it back. And now I'm going to do the same for this side. I'm just going to select the wall so I can pan better. And I'm going to move this one back, align, and there we go. Now we can choose our foundation, CS for create similar, and I'm just going to tag these walls. So now we have a little problem here, because there would be a concrete step over there. But since this is existing, we don't really need to worry about how this connection will look because we won't see it in a section. There we go. See if I have anything else that I need to do. Okay, this one, well, I need to pull it to make it neat. Okay, so that is fine. You can do foundations like this, but then it will require a rational design from an engineer and engineer's drawings. For this instance, we're going to leave it like this because otherwise we'll need to drop this foundation down more so that that part is up top on that, or we can just move this up. We do not have any heights associated with our foundation. We can check our foundation note, foundation sizes as per section, so there's no depth specified on this. So we can, for argumentative purposes, so that is 200. So these, the garage foundation, we need to take it to minus 1060. Okay, we have to change it a bit more. 60. So I'm going to go minus 1000, and your base constraint, foundation level, you need to be on there, 0, and there we go. So there we now have a nice step foundation, and here as well. So I'm going to just go to finish floor level, and I'm going to go architecture, floor, edit, duplicate, and call this existing floor. Let's see if we have a floor node, roof, ceiling, fascia, rainwater, floors, all indicated plan 20 mm screed on 100 concrete bed. So we have a 120 thickness for floor. Let's go and edit our material. I want this to be concrete. Let's just search existing because we have made a concrete, I'm just going to use the same one as that, called it 100, and then insert for a new one. I'm going to move this up, and that is a screed. So I am just going to duplicate this one, call it existing screed, and our surface pattern I'm going to set to none, and that is the 20 mil screed. Okay, apply and okay. So I'm going to use my rectangle tool for this, and I am going to select the inside, outside of my cavity, and just align it with this wall over here. So that will be cast on the brickwork, and I'll go this. We can just make it. I'm gonna leave it there for now, and this needs to be set to garage 0. Go OK. Let's go check our section. There we have our nice little grid. So to clean this up, we're gonna go modify, join, just to make sure that that concrete is taken through. So now, due to the concrete going up and we need an opening there, our top constraint is garage finish floor level, and this one will be garage finish floor level. Okay, base constraint we need to change. Apologies to that. And there we have our little retaining wall, and there we have our concrete connection beautifully lined up over there. So if we get the 3D view, we can see our nice little floor. So let's go into our section, and now I just need to ensure, okay, let's draw in our roof. So our roof is on 3 degrees running towards the entrance. So now let me just quickly add another level. I'm going to go copy and go under the side of deck beam. Just move this out of the drawing. Clean this up. Gonna move this up a bit. Okay, so this distance from garage floor to that is 2925. That's the underside of the beam. So now we need to double check our floor level, internal floor level, is lower than that. But we know from garage to attic level is 3110, and we currently have 2.6. So I am going to adjust this name to attic level and change this. I'm just going to unhide it as well. Unhide, so we are sure we have the right. Let's go 3110. That is our attic level. So this should have moved up now, all of this. Attic level, it's constraint, wall plate level. So that needs to move up. All of this needs to move up. And check that one. Let's go to our other section that we have in. Do I still have it there? There we go. So according to all of the dimensions and levels we have now, our garage is set below, and we are taking 2.6 from finished floor level. So somewhere these drawings do not align. So our garage is level 0 in a sense. And then we have, I'm just gonna hide the foundation here. Oh, the wrong button. Hide element. I'm going to unhide my PDF. Foundation level, hide. Just clean this up. So let me quickly see. Wall plate, we should be able to move up. Okay, so we know that that is that. Okay, so this needs to move. Let's put it back there. And this might have been my error because from garage level we have 311. Garage level 3110. Okay, it is now. Okay, so we were correct. Okay, that one I moved accidentally. I think I chose that one needs to stay on place for us for I used the wrong level line. Okay, so everything has been set up correctly. I was just looking at the wrong stuff. Okay, so that from garage level needs to change to 2925. That was what my error was. So now I know this wall needs to connect there because this front wall is aligned with the top of that floor, but that is the underside we mentioned, so I need to undo that. Okay, let me just clean this up again, otherwise I'm going to get confused and draw the wrong thing. It's important to keep your stuff very cleaned up so that you don't get confused like I am doing at the moment. So now we know we have 3 meters and we need to work with a 48 by 225. And let's just check our height here. We have 185 till our attic floor level. So as we can see here, attic floor level, this is lower because we need a weather strip on this section. So with 185, I'm going to double check this, and we need approximately a 50 mil weather strip. So we need a 135 that we can use on that section. And if I check on this joist span, we do not have anything that complies with that 135. We have a 149 that might be able to it, but then our weather strip will be only 35 mils. That should be fine. So we can go with this one, just make it bigger, and then we still comply with our 3 meter span. Okay, so I'm just going to take this visible in view and hide all of that. And I'm going to go to my floor plan. So now I'm just going to go architecture, roof. Let's check our notes again. This is a IBR sheeting roof, so let's go duplicate garage IBR sheeting. Go OK. Let's going to give this thickness of 50, and let's see existing. Okay, I am going to just copy the screed, existing garage roof, select that, cut pattern, I'm going to change to none, surface pattern I am going to keep as none because I don't want anything show on that, and that is fine. I'm going to use my rectangle tool, and I'm going to rather use my line tool because we go from here to there to there, and I'm going to use an offset of 125 over there, but I need to push it back a bit more. Oh, we can leave it like that, it's fine. I'm just going to do this. I'll trim and extend. Select these lines again so that I can change to take off my defined slope because it's just running that way. And I'm going to go OK. I'm going to save my project and I'm going to go to my section. As you can see, currently it's on 30 degrees like that. So we want this on -3 to fall to the front. Okay, so now I can just get an estimate that that is connecting to the underside of the beam. So I'm going to set this to underside of deck beam, but it is still above that. Offset from level, let's go -50, and there we go. So now that we have our roof in, we know where to space our purlins or our rafters. So I'm just going to go 3D, and I am going to go to roof, gutter, add that over there, and ensure it's existing. Remember, we are drawing in the existing phase. So if we go change the phase to new construction, everything will be grayed out. But I'm just going to change this tree to existing as well. So I still need to go to site to measure that tree because the client does not want to remove the tree with the extension she wants to do here at the back. Okay, so now that we have our box cutter over there, let's go to section, and that ties up neatly. So let's go ahead and add our purlins. This is a 115 by 75. So now I'm going to go back to my floor plan and go structure, beam, edit type, duplicate, existing garage, purlin, rafter, and the 115. I'm going to go apply and OK, and I'm just going to draw it in. And I'm going to go back to my section, and there we have our lovely purlin. I'm just going to go set, just go start offset 2.1, end offset 2.1 so that I can adjust it. Okay, it seems that that's not, oh, entered the wrong one. 2.1, so it just moves up. And now I'm going to give it a cross section of 3 because our roof is 3 degrees, but we want it to turn the other way. So I'm going to go -3. There we go. Use the align tool. Just align it to the roof. And I'm going to lock it onto that line. So now I can move it. And I'm going to move it to this corner. And there we have our first rafter. So back to 3D view. Hide my roof. And there we can see our purlin rafter. So now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to select my rafter, go AR for array. I'm going to select last, and from there this needs to go I'm going to select the bottom actually, because this point is further than that, and I don't want this to go into the wall. Go AR, show last, click on that, and I'm going to put it against my wall. Let's go with 7 because we counted the 7 on the existing plans. There we go. There we have our rafter purlins. So now I'm just going to unhide my roof. We can unhide. Okay, we need to unhide view elements, unhide category. Okay, okay, you are still hidden. Just so we can get the full picture of what we are drawing. There might be a small instance where this needs to move up once we have our deck in. Okay, another thing I've noticed is we don't have a height for this little nook over here, and we will need a railing there as well, because once you exit this door, there's a little kid or something on the deck and you can climb onto the roof. So we'll need to add that safety precaution. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my floor plan. Go architecture, roof. I'm going to use this again. And I'm going to take it all the way to the edge. And let's go with this side because it's from that. Undefine the slopes. I'm just going to go okay once again and go back to my section and go -3 degrees like so, and I am going to put this on underside of deck and beam so that it's there, but we now can see this is higher than that. So there we have underside of beam. I assume that's that section. So we now need to check our ceiling thickness as well. Ceiling, no ceiling to garage, scum gypsum board on 38 by 38 branders, 400 center. Okay, so there's no ceiling thickness given, but a gypsum board ceiling is normally 12 to 16 mils, and we can use that. This is the standard size for. So I am going to wing this. Going to move this up. I'm going to go architecture. Right, let's draw a detail line, rather DL for detail line. Create an offset, and this is also 75 by 115. So I'm going to go offset 115 just to get a rough idea of the structure. So there we have the bottom of that, and now we need to do another one for 38 for our branding and 12 for our ceiling. There we go. So that and that and that and that I'm going to group just to keep it together for now. I don't think, okay, that is connected. Nice. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw in on floor plan my floor quickly for this section, and then we can extend it later on. Floor, existing floor. Use the line tool, and I'm going to select that line for my cavities. I'm gonna run it there. Let's just draw the entire floor now, then it is done. Over there, and over there, and this one over here. Now I'm just going to trim and extend everything. Okay, and we are on finished floor level. Existing shop. Don't attach. I don't want to attach anything at the moment. And now I just need to go and modify, join, so that that concrete connection looks nice. There we go, and now we know our height. So let's now go finish floor level to underside of beam over there, 2465. So now I'm just going to add a dimension from our finished floor level reference to this line. So now I know this needs to move up to 2465. So I'm going to just go calculator. 2465 minus 2457, get 8 millimeters. So I'm going to go MV for move and move it up by 8. What are you going to delete? The dimension probably. Let's check again. 2465. So now this needs to move up. And now we can go 3D view. And I'm going to select this wall and go attach top to base. And we need to lift this up most likely as well. Let's see if we have an elevation. Okay, we have 1, 2, and a sectional elevation. So it seems like this wall is also split, that this corner is on the same height and this front part is on this decking height. So I'm going to go SL again. SL, cut it, go AL, and I'm going to lock that in place. So this connection here is very nasty. I'm going to go clean that up. We are over here. So I'm going to move that back and move that in. Okay, that's a lot better. So I'm going to click on my fascia board, create similar, go roof again, gutter, and add a gutter. I just like to add this stuff as I go along so that I know my small details have been done. So I'm going to add the gutter here. There's a gutter over here. There's a gutter over here. There's a gutter over there. And there we now have, if we look through here, we have our floor on the inside. We have our decking. We have our kitchen roof. We have our garage roof with our rafters. Let's go and add another rafter. Structure, beam, and I'm going to use the same purlin because it's under my kitchen roof notes. It is saying ditto, which means that the exact same purlin rafter is used, but it's spaced at 760 max spacing. So I'm just going to add it in here. Go back to our section, and I'm going to give it 2-1 again, 2-1 minus 3. Let's see, okay, it flips it that way. So now we need to go 3, go align, and I'm going to lock it into place. So now I'm going to move this and put it in there and use the same like we did here. Go AR for array, we want the last one, and if we check our section, there is 4 of them. So that one, and we need to enter 4. And there we have, I'm just going to ungroup them. So let's go finish floor level and finalize this kitchen. Go ceiling. And now I am going to automate ceiling. We want this, let's see if there's any height. Okay, we know the height. We can adjust it. I'm just going to click. If we go 3D, see if our ceiling is hiding somewhere. There it is. So I'm going to move it down so I can see it. And now we can delete. So there's our 38. I'm going to delete this and keep that one line. Okay, you need to move out, sir. Okay, let's see our ceiling plan. Okay, why are you guys not showing? You are supposed to show here. Let's go view range. Okay, so something went wrong on my template. 27. Okay, there it is. But we are still in existing, so that's why I couldn't see it. And this raster, we need to go and go edit footprint and go with, oh, that's the roof. I've adjusted this a bit too high. Is that ceiling existing? Yes, it is. Come now. Once again, the roof. Just gonna go to section. How high is you? Finish floor 33. See if I can change it via that. Okay, there we go. Let's go edit. Go duplicate. Call this existing kitchen ceiling. I don't want that structure because we are going to be putting it in. So delete. Our thickness is 12. And I'm going to change this to gypsum. So the only one we have, yeah, I can use that. Okay, I'm just going to put a surface pattern on it. See it? Gypsum plaster, apply and okay. And now I'm going to go, let's go edit. Let's add a slope. We know it's falling this way. So now I am going to go slope arrow, height at tail, which is correct. But we can make it slope. And we want 3 degrees. So let's go and see our section. Okay, so we need to put -3 degrees. There we go. There we have our sloped ceiling. So now I'm going to enter my rendering. but that is going to be like that, so we can add that structure actually to our ceiling. We're not going to cut through. So we're going to edit, insert, move it up, and go 38. And now we can just move it from align AL and just ensure everything is neat. And now I'm going to delete that line. There we have our ceiling in our kitchen. Okay, so let's do our decking. So section, underside of deck beam, we need to use that. As stated, we are going to use the 149 by 73. So I'm going to go structure beam. Let's just go to our floor plan. Floor plan, beam, edit, duplicate, existing garage, deck, beam, joist. And this is 149, 73 by 149. Apply and OK. Let's set this to underside of our deck beam, and I'm going to just once again draw it in and go back to my section. See, okay, so that reference level did not take. Let's go edit work plane, edit work plane. We want it to be over there. Go OK, and that has moved it up. And there we have our first beam out of all the rest. So now I'm just going to press MV to move it onto there. And now we know that this can be, this is max spacings. So is grade 7, and we can use 6, can't be bigger than 600. So now I'm going to go AR, choose last, and I'm going to move it to there. And let's see, 10. Okay, so we need to add more. Let's go with 12. Because 600 is our max spacing, so that's fine. Let's see what 11 does. Yeah, that's perfect. So there we have our joists for our deck. And now I'm going to go finish floor level, architecture, floor, see if we have a wooden floor. But I'm going to we can use the wooden floor again. It is existing. So I'm gonna go on the side of deck beam, height offset is 185, and I'm going to draw it in over there. Let's go to our section, and there we have our nice little floor. Okay, now that's in. There we go. So I am just going to move this gutter to the edge of that wall, and I'm going to see, okay, we have an attic level over there. This needs to be lower than that floor level for our weather strip. So I'm just going to make this good existing deck, and I'm for drafting purposes I'm going to make that 20, and I'm going to change this 149 to 179, I think. 169. There we go. So now we have a little weather strip between the deck and the inside of our house. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to finish floor level, and we need to add a railing over here. I am not going to model this exact railing, that's going to take me forever. So I am going to give an impression of a railing. So let's go to our architecture tab, railing, and I'm just going to use the pipe set work plane that needs to be on attic level, and I'm going to go from there, and then I'm going to bring it back and to there, but let's just align it like so. Go okay. Okay, that you now make it on finished floor level. Yes, you did. Attic level, we want you on the roof. And there we have our railing for our deck. So now we need to check the height of the railing. Let's go edit type. Railing height is currently set to 900. So I'm going to make this 1000. And we need to double check our height over here. That is 444, which is non-compliant. We need to add a railing over there. So I'm going to go finish floor level. Just go a railing again. And from there, I'm just going to draw it to the center. Attic level 444. Go OK. Oh, we drew it from here, so we need to make that 48. And there we have a safe deck area. We can take this one and go edit type, duplicate, duplicate, OK, and just go DL for detail line. From there, you want to go 1 meter just to align those two railings. So let's make this 556. So there we have them aligned. But we can't drop that down due to the roof. We can't lift it up. So this is another problematic section once I am on going back to site again to check what has been done on this area. So I'm just going to change this back to 1 meter for now so that we remain compliant, that no kids can climb over this section. Because if that railing is the same height as this, they can climb on top of the wall and jump over onto the roof. So there we have our deck with our garage, with our roof. So I'm just going to give this some more context. And I'm going to go finish floor level, reference plane once again, just to add the center line of my garage. Go architecture, I'm going to create a wall opening. And I'm going to make this wall opening 2500. Base constraint is top constraint can be unconnected. Base offset 0, unconnected height 2.1. And we need you. Where's your middle? Okay, I'm gonna go add a dimension. And I'm just going to move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. So we need 250, 250. So this one needs to move up 2 moles. Okay, that miraculously, okay, in the wrong direction. Let me use this dimension again, 250, 250. And I'm just gonna go architecture, choose my garage door. Oh, it's on the door, not component. Flip it into place. And let's go to section. This needs to be on garage. Okay, edit family. And this thing, I'm gonna delete you. Load in. Okay, so something is wonky. One. Okay, there we have our garage door in. Just to add some context to our little house. These lines, join, join. Any other lines showing? No. Okay, so now I am going to just get an estimate of this door. It's a double door. Do I have a double door? No, I do not. So I'm just going to add this door there so I know that there is a door. I'm just going to scoot it up a bit. There we go. Just so I can remember, I need to go and get this door size on site to add it in. Okay, and there we have our garage railing, deck, garage, roof. Hey, I don't want to change anything. I'm just gonna go height, and there is. Ah, I don't want to see that. Okay, let's join you guys as well. And there we have created our deck, our gutter. I've entered our garage. We've done our kitchen, and there we are. So up next, we are going to do our the rest of our internal areas. Let me just bring the section box in. So we need to do our roof structure. I am not going to do this roof structure because that won't be applicable on our section. As you can see over here, we only see this section. But we do need to add another bearer beam to this top section for our trusses to connect to. So I will, this bearer beam most likely be a lot thicker. Why aren't you guys also cutting on that area? Are you skew? 118, 84, Berlin. Yeah, you guys, these lines are now completely useless. I will have to redraw them. So this would need to set over here, and that is most likely going to be duplicate main bridge beam, be the 400 as trusses, so that our rafters can connect cleanly to those. But we'll get to the ones specifics in a moment. You need to be aligned there, my son. I think this line moved. Okay. So and then we'll do our roof structure, and then we'll do our ceiling over here. Because I do think that these might go up like this. So that I'll need to split as well. Because I do think that this goes up into, so that you don't see into the room, and the same for this one. Let me just quickly check the attic plan. Okay, we have drywall on the corner over there, but we do have this main wall going up and connecting. So I'll need to check the section over there so that we can split this one over there. Let's quickly split it. We can edit it afterwards. Okay, so you need to be over here. I'm going to take you, attach top to base, and you need to go attach top to base. Then I'm going to align that so that's little nice and neat. I'll go AL to align that there, and I'm going to drag this one. Now I'm connected. This is, I'm just gonna lock it to there for now, and hopefully, okay, that helped. And this distance, and 561. Come here, little wall. And you don't need to be there. Yeah, that's better. Okay. That is our 190 wall, so it's resting on there. It's fine. So for I do think as well that this is underneath this. Because this doesn't make sense to me that you would put your bare beam like that, but then the wall you will build next to it rather than under it. But I, each to their own. I'm just going to add my ceilings 2.4, Let's go, just throw it in there. Hey, you need to be on finished floor level, my guy. Okay, 2.4 is too high. Okay, so I will need to check that specifics because that is too low. This wall is too low for a ceiling. Why are you giving me errors regarding my PDF? Adobe. Apologies, I'm quickly going to reopen this existing plan PDF so I can see the ceiling note. Maybe I misread something. Okay, so there is no height indicated for ceilings. Floors, foundation, fenestration, okay. So we know, according to our regulations, minimum ceiling height is 2.4. So I do think that if we go edit boundary, that our passage is situated on 2.1 and the bathroom as well. So this is most likely aligned over there, like so, and then rendering might be aligned like that, which means this will go up to there, and this will go up to under that, and the same for that wall, and our 190 wall will most likely also go to the underside. So we can, like so, but I don't think that is like that. See our height, if we drop it down, 2339, I think that might be it, because this was built in 1997. And then we have our drywall in there, and the to not expose that. So this will then also go to there, and this. Let's quickly try that one. Ceiling, because these two will most likely be on the same height. Go finish floor level, 2.1. So that's 2.1. This is why I think this wall is actually underneath that bearer beam. But if I remember the site correctly, I don't think there are bearer beams in the structure. I only remember seeing the joists from, apologies, from wall to wall. But for now, I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm just gonna cut it a bit more so I can see the passage. Okay, so we also have that little boo-boo over there. So I need to make note of the barrier beams. Because if I remember the house correctly, I don't think that there are any barrier beams in this house. Okay, let's unhide these ones. So and there is our little house. So in the next one, we will continue with the internal part of the house because this side we know has been finished, and then we need to add our doors, windows, and so forth. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.